I have a theory. I think Sengoku created Sword. Spoilers for literally the entire story. Listen, this may end up becoming true or be so incredibly wrong in like a month. So let's get some of the obvious stuff out of the way first. 1. Fuck Sengoku. 2. If you think Sengoku is too complicit to possibly have created Sword, just remember that he has the same moral perspective as Garp. Sengoku follows the orders of the world government and the laws of the Marines even when he disagrees with them. And he has shown his frustrations with obeying orders before. As we saw, this was his reaction to the gag order at the end of Marineford, when he was told to cover up the Impel Down prison break to protect the government's reputation in the eyes of the public. It was Sengoku that allowed Shanks to give Whitebeard and Ace a proper burial. And Sengoku even retired after Marineford in disgust. And 3, and this is important, Sword is not some rebel counterinsurgency group in the Marines. At least not yet. I do believe that they will eventually become this due to the influence of characters like Kobe and X Drake, but that is a process that is ongoing and 100% not the foundation or mission statement of this group currently. As it stands, Sword is just a Black Ops unit of the Marines that are given the leniency to sidestep bureaucratic red tape, so that they can do the work of the Marines without having to wait for official orders. X Drake fighting Cypherpole and finding out that the world government was working with Kaido, ultimately leading to him teaming up with Luffy. Smoker meeting with Kuzan at the end of Punk Hazard, where he tells us that his goal in coming to the island was literally to meet with Smoker. Smoker, who we then see was in the New World during Vegapunk's broadcast, and he's bringing some sort of package back with him, which I think could be part of Kuzan's secret plan. And he's on his way to the G5 hospital to meet with Kobe, Tashigi, and X Drake, as they and the rest of Sword all listen to Vegapunk's broadcast together. And I think this is the moment in real time of Sword realizing that it's the world government behind everything. But that is just what I think. Until it happens, Sword fighting CP0 here was a one-off. It was X Drake calling audible in the midst of an empire crumbling war. So Sword really should just be looked at as an off-the-books unit of the Marines. And that's why I think Sengoku started it. Lock in with me. As opposed to Garp, a person who would report that he literally let Luffy escape because he was his grandson. Sengoku is a lot more meticulous than that, a lot more cautious than that. And most importantly, Sengoku has done this before. Don Quixote Rocinante was recruited by Sengoku as a child and sent undercover within the Don Quixote crime family. But ultimately his cover was blown by Vergo, who Doflamingo had implanted within the Marines themselves, and he was summarily executed by his own brother. From this event, Sengoku learned two things that will become the foundation of Sword. First, when a Marine goes undercover, they cannot just pretend that that person was never enlisted. They learned their lesson from Corazon. They need to have that person publicly defect from the Marines. So that's what they did with X Drake before implanting him within the Beast Pirates in Wano. Second, the communication and records for these undercover agents need to be kept confidential. But because these agents are out in the field, they'll be reporting in regularly too. So what does that mean? It means you need to create an actual unit designated specifically for these Marines. One that's strictly confidential, but can be cut loose at any time. That unit is Sword. Sengoku created Sword so that no undercover Marines would end up like Corazon ever again. And remember, Sengoku recruited X Drake in the exact same way as he did Rosinante. Then we find out that X Drake is operating undercover in the exact same way as Rosinante. And to me, it makes a lot more sense for Garp to be someone who's just aware of Sword's existence because of his friendship with Sengoku. So then he has Kobe and Helmeppo both join Sword after their training, but Garp remains independent from the unit itself. And my final piece is that I think Kuzan is a Marine that represents the ideals that Sword operates under. And after saving him from Doflamingo, he even tells Smoker in this scene verbatim that he doesn't see the world government as the end-all be-all for his justice. And yet despite him training under Garp, it was Sengoku who nominates Kuzan for the Fleet Admiral position. Meaning technically, Sengoku is the only person in this entire story who's ever actually made an attempt at systemic change from within the Marines.